Hey everyone, Chris here, also known as the Darktoylord. Thank you very much for tuning in today. What we're going to be taking a look at here is this Mass Effect Andromeda Sara Ryder action figure by McFarlane Toys. Real quick, we'll take a look at the packaging. We have this nice clear window so you can see the actual figure inside her plastic tray. I am a little bit concerned. She looks a little off in her pose. I'm really hoping that sometimes you'll find a toy that's in the plastic tray just in the wrong possible position, and it actually ruins how the figure stands. Like the legs or arms get all warped, so I'm a little concerned about that. We'll find out soon enough. I'll spin the package around to the back, and here we have a picture of the actual action figure on her display stand right here, plus a closer up image here, and she has her alternate head in place. Alright, let's go ahead and open this up. We'll take a closer look at the action figure and gather our final thoughts. Package contents include Sara Ryder's display stand. Here is her alternate head. And her pistol. Now, just something to keep in mind. When I first took this out of the package, this peg right here just flew right off. I honestly thought that I broke it, but after I found the peg, luckily I didn't lose it. I saw that it just goes right back into the pistol right there. Now, it looks kind of weird. One might say, why on earth is there this peg on the pistol? And actually, it looks like Sara's leg has this hole in it, so she doesn't have a holster, but you can actually peg the gun into her leg right here. So personally, I mean, I'm still struggling to get through Mass Effect Andromeda. I was a huge fan of the original trilogy, and so I had high hopes, and I was actually excited to get Andromeda when it first came out. But I honestly, the game has not captured my attention at all. I haven't gotten very far into the series, or that very far into the game at all. That being said, one thing I did like that what they did with the game was the main characters. I like that they made both characters available within the same storyline as brother and sister. You can kind of like choose which one you want to use, Scott or Sara, because that allows you to have both the characters existing within the same story. Unlike the first trilogy, you either had Shepard or you had Fem Shep, but the two of them didn't coexist within the same storyline. So that's kind of cool. Let's go ahead and get a height check on Sara Ryder here. Looks like she's coming in just a little bit shy of 7 inches tall. Now, my initial concern about maybe her arms or legs being slightly bent out of shape because how she was placed in the packaging, I guess that one was really just kind of like a matter of perception, because once you get her out of the packaging and you kind of like move the joints around, it kind of alleviates the problem where they just kind of looked weird. So I guess that's a concern we don't need to necessarily worry about. We'll talk about articulation. So we have her head here. Pretty much just side to side movement. It looks like you have a little bit of up and down, but not enough to really do much with. Her ponytail is it does have some give to it, so it's not restricting movement whatsoever. Her shoulders swivel, as well as there's a hinge there, so they can move outward, and it's kind of ratchets into place on both sides. Elbows swivel and a hinge. You get like a 90-degree bend there. And the wrists, they swivel, and they got a hinge there too. This one is extremely loose. I do worry that that's going to break. This one, this one's not as bad at all. Her torso can move around a little bit, but it's not a whole hell of a lot. The hips, I mean, there's really no point. You know, the upper thighs can pivot a little bit or swivel a little bit, but the armor just makes the rest of the movement almost non-existent. The knee, got about a 90-degree bend there. And the knee can also swivel. Ankles. No sort of tilt on the ankle, side to side tilt, so it's just a little bit forward and back motion. So we get a close up here of Sara's face, just so we can talk a little bit about quality. So McFarlane always does such an incredible job with the attention to detail when sculpting the figures. That goes without saying. I mean, look at the detail in the N7 chest armor there, the shoulder pads, all the armor. It's absolutely incredible. I don't quite understand what's going on with this. That's just scarf or something. It's I don't know. That just, it doesn't really serve a point, and if anything, it just looks weird. Sara's head sculpt, I guess it's okay. I haven't played her character in the game, so I'm not sure how accurate it is. I mean, it looks pretty decent. You get a lot of detail there in the hair. One thing you can see, quality issue, I guess. You get a little spot on her nose. It's one of the bad things about having to order your toys online is you can't cherry pick the ones that you want to buy. Essentially, you get stuck with whatever it gets shipped to you. Again, about the quality, this one I'm surprised about. You can see right here, this strand of hair, the face paint overlapped on the hair itself, and it really just kind of looks cheesy. So most likely I'll be popping this head off and putting her helmet head sculpt on instead. And there's the helmet sculpt. So the helmet looks awesome, but she suffers from the same problem that Ryder suffered from, is that her neck, the flesh skin tone of her neck is quite visible, and it just kind of stands out like a sore thumb. I mean, the neck should have been painted black. It should have been an extension of the armor, or like a Under Armour bodysuit or something. There's no excuse for having the neck exposed like that. Even with the regular head on, it having like a turtleneck or it going all the way up her neck would have been acceptable. So I'm not sure why they did that, because it really kind of makes the helmet mode look a little cheesy. So here's Sara on her display stand. I'm not too thrilled with this particular action figure. There's something funky going on with her. Again, probably coming because of that stupid scarf thingy. She has like a little bit of hunchback syndrome going on. She just, I don't know. The proportions aren't sitting well with me. I don't know. There's something about it. This particular figure, I don't necessarily care for. I mean, I'm excited because it's a Mass Effect toy, and we don't get a lot of those these days, but I just think that this particular toy could have been done a little bit better. But hey, let me know what you think. If you have this particular toy, how does yours look okay? Are you happy with how this particular toy came out? I'd love to hear your opinions. So thank you very much for tuning in. Please remember, comment, like, and subscribe. And until next time, we'll talk to you later.